Welcome to Pure Survival. In the previous episode, we made it from the coast into Vorkuta city, which was abandoned and absolutely swarming with infected. Here we did manage to find a few useful items to aid us in our adventure. We also met up with a few survivors, some of which were not fortunate enough to survive. After looting a few of the shops and the local hospital, we decided to go south in search of the airfield. Across the open wilderness here, we came across the dam, which led us through to a few military buildings and then on to some of the military lookout towers. Here we managed to find some better weaponry and some equipment to aid us further in our adventure. We then continued to travel south until we came across a rail yard. It was here that we decided to wait out the storm and to set out the following morning. Cold and hungry and limited on supplies, how much longer can our survivor last in the harsh climate of Namalsk? Well, let's find out in day 2 of Pure Survival. Ooh, okay, so this is day 2. Woke up cold, but I can hear an animal not far from here. My door's still secure, which is good. That means someone's not attempted to get in overnight, which is great. Be extra careful here. You know what? Thinking, yeah. Try and see if we can figure out where this animal is. I know we want to go up to the airfield soon, but do you know what? Getting some decent food. Is that a zombie there? Yeah, it is. Okay. Getting some decent food and actually being able to get warm with some proper cooked meat would actually set up just right an adventure to the airfield. It means we haven't got to stress or worry about eating when we're actually at the airfield, which means we can get in there, try and find what we want, get back out quick. Where are you? I can hear you. You're not far. This is risky though, because if I'm hearing this, so is anyone else who's in the area. Food can be quite scarce here. This is where a scoped weapon would come in handy. But here we go. Some deers here. I need to try and get as close as I can to maximize my shot. Got you. Sorry, Mr. Deer, but you know, I need your meat. Yeah, it's really cold and fresh, but we're going to try and scoop up as much of this meat as we can. And ideally, I'd like to actually try and make an improvised fishing hook. Now I know we found a fishing hook, but having a backup one is going to be great. It just means if we ever get into a spot where we're not able to get any food, we're going to be able to do some fishing, which, you know, may be something that we'll need to do at some point. Okay, alright. Let's get out of here before someone finds where the shot came from. We're going to go back into this rail yard here. Try and find a building here that potentially will have a fire barrel in it where we're able to use like the grill that's on the top of it to be able to cook up that meat, and we're also going to be able to get warm at the same time. So I guess preempting that, we should actually make a fire here and take it in with us. There's some trees here. Just get some sticks. I'll grab a few logs from one of these bigger trees. People can hear us doing this, so. Break that down into a few small logs, and then we'll take some bark to use as kindling. Okay. Okay, that'll do us. Work our way around the edge here. And there was an infected just outside this gate when we came through earlier. Yeah, he's behind us there. I think he walked over to the side. I think he might have just spotted us. Don't really want to be aggroing all the infected in this area, to be honest with you. I want to try and stay relatively low key. I think I can hear one just around this corner. Yep. Well, the NBC seat might spot me in a second. These zombies have wide berth if we can. You would start walking this way, wouldn't you? Okay, this is what we're looking for here. It's tucked in a little way out the way here as well. Okay, that's in there. Let's get our lighter, which I know we've got here somewhere. Oh, wow! I knew he was going to find us eventually. The really hard thing to kind of distinguish right now is when you hear that running like that. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish from humans and infected. What I'd like to do here is actually put the cooking pot on here so we can kind of boil up that water that we had. We can also boil up some of these steaks as well. Basically, boiling up the steaks means that we're going to be able to not only get sustenance from these steaks in terms of overall food, but we're also going to get extra water from it as well, because I'm sure this cooking pot, did it have any water in it? Maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't have water in it. Maybe we should just be careful for a minute, because that's all going to burn if there's no water in it. It's not going to boil. I'm sure we picked up a picked up a bottle of water. So what we can do is we can put this by the side here. We can actually fill this pot up with some water in a minute maybe. Do you know what, actually, while we're doing this, rather than spending too long, if we put fat in there with it, then it will just cook. I'm going to eat that piece of meat we've got here in a second as well. Relatively tucked out of the way here, which means as long as someone doesn't get too close, no one will spot us here. So make sure we're not burning any of this food. Some smoked food here. There we go. We really do need to defrost this water. Okay. 70 is still just a little bit too hot. We need it to be, I think, 60 Celsius for us to be able to eat it without it really burning our mouth, because, yeah, I do like that mechanic though. Eating food that's too hot means it's going to reduce your health a little bit because you're burning your mouth, so to speak. It's a nice little touch. It just means even if you're desperate to eat because you're going to starve to death and you've cooked some food, you still have to wait and be patient for it to cool down, which is relatively realistic. I like that. It's pretty cool. Okay, you got 60 yet now. I really want to boil up this water. It's not going to, it's next to the fire, but it's just taking so long. You can't put the water bottle on a, there we go, freezing, okay. Let's just eat this quick. No, we can. At least we can get some goodness in us for a second. Okay, right, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to put this water into the cooking pot. So the bottle's empty now. It's got water in it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to boil up the last little bit of that meat that we have here. We're going to boil the meat. It's going to boil the water that's in there as well. We won't have much of that water left, I don't think, really. We need to keep defrosting this bottle, really, because if it's still showing as freezing and we've got water in there when we fill it up at a well, then it's going to just freeze rock solid and we're not going to be able to drink it. Whoa, where did you come from, bro? No, mate. So that was just bad timing. The server unfortunately restarted and we've just rejoined, and yeah, it's burnt all our meat, and there was an infected like right behind us there. You know, which wasn't expected and just threw us off a little bit. But you know, these things happen. I'm gonna repair my jacket. You know, let's not be too greedy, you know what I mean? We got an awful lot of meat from that deer. I mean, a ridiculous amount of meat from that deer. We're just gonna eat a little bit more of this as we have a little look around here. Alright, we're warm, we've got some food. Let's go and have a little nosy around here and see before we crack on up to the airfield if we can actually find anything useful to use. Can't get up onto the roofs here. Sometimes you find stuff up on the roof. So let's just go and have a quick look. We're also likely to get a better view of the area, but with that comes the fact that if we can see further away, people are likely going to be able to spot us from a distance as well. Definitely hear some footsteps or something moving around below us. I'll stay up here for too long. Not a bad vantage point though. Okay. Got a good idea of where we're going to be heading once we're finished here. So a land bridge over there, just off in the distance, you can see there between the water. You're going to go over there and head up towards where that industrial area is, just up there. We can see the cranes, and that's then going to take us up along over a bridge. We keep travelling along the train tracks. We'll go eventually past the sawmill, and then we can literally just go up the hill, and there's some good military areas up there that would potentially yield us some decent weapons. There's some shotgun buckshots there. That's going to come in handy for our shotgun as well. When we've got a single shotgun, hopefully we're going to find something like a double barrel at some point. Would be nice to get a double barrel. Okay. Check up on this roof here too. You know, like I said, we're taking a little bit of a risk here. All seems quiet here at the moment, so what is that there? There's a rifle or something just over there. There is another ladder coming down onto this part of the roof. Definitely look like some sort of rifle. Is that a Mosin? If that's a Mosin, we've got rounds for that. This is why sometimes I like to come up onto the roofs, because you do sometimes find stuff like rifles and that. It's easy for things up in the roof here to blend into the surface. All definitely seems quiet up here at the moment. Okay, let's go and investigate this rifle that we've just spotted. Yeah, it's a Mosin. Pristine as well. You know, after the Winchester, is the next best hunting stroke sniper rifle that you can get, to be honest with you. Yeah, this has got some power behind it. But I say that, you know, in terms of like bolt action, ideally for me personally it would be the SVD, obviously, which is a semi-auto sniper rifle of the same caliber. So it takes the same rounds, which is 7.62 by 5.4, which are actually pretty powerful rounds. The thing is, I'd prefer this over the SKS, to be honest with you. The SKS is semi-auto, which is okay, but it's a slightly lower caliber round, which means it doesn't do as much damage as this. Like, if we come across someone that doesn't have body armor on them, we hit them in the right spot to kill them with one shot from this. But the SKS is going to take more than that. See, now we're stuck into a position of kind of now deciding, you know, what do we keep and what do we lose? We're going to have to decide here now and make quite an important decision, because choices of weaponry now are going to be really important. Do we keep the single barrel shotgun? That is pretty powerful, but, you know, needs to be rechambered after every shot. Yeah, for me, I think it's a relatively easy decision to make, and that's the fact that we're just going to lose the shotgun. I think we should do a little bit of jiggery pokery on what's in our inventory and where it's spaced. We're going to keep the shotgun shells for now, obviously. You know, we want to keep the shotgun shells. We do potentially need to find a sniper scope for the rifle. I'll drop this here. Chances of someone else coming up onto the roof finding that are quite slim, I think, to be honest with you. It's not great anyway, even if they did, so. And we're going to the airfield, which is, you know, a place where potentially we could find the scope we are looking for this rifle. Again, the scope's not going to be as good as what we'd get on the Winchester. The Winchester also takes a superior round, which is 308s. Good caliber round for hunting and defending ourselves against hostile players. A drop off there onto that pipe's a little bit too much. Okay, you know what? I think we've spent enough time up on this roof. The fact that we haven't got to repair either of these guns is actually pretty good. We've definitely lucked out on that. Can't deny that fact. Just while we're here, actually, before we get down, in case we do encounter a lot of infected, let's just quickly put those last few rounds into that IJ mag. Try and get down as quick as we can. I don't think anything really will be hidden away in these corners, but we just never know. So if I'm going to quick check. To be honest with you, if we was to come across some wooden planks behind one of these containers here, it would actually be a good place for us to put another little storage box as a little stash. Yeah. Things used to be discovered in these little towers, but I don't think there are anything in them anymore. There's another bit of roof we can get to there, actually. I know we said we wanted to get down off the roof, but like, not here, this is through the next bit. Don't want to potentially miss. How do we even get to that? I'm gonna have to jump down off the other ladder. He actually goes onto the tower there. Yeah, I know, this feels like I'm faffing a little bit now, but wouldn't we be pretty annoyed if there was one, a scope up there, or two, an even better rifle that we could potentially take with us? I think just while we're right close here, we should have actually had a quick look down here. Okay, mate, let's not make a massive deal out of that small drop. It's not like it was really that high, is it? Like, you know what I mean? Okay, it doesn't really look like there's anything there, but until you look, you just don't know. Oh, no! Oh, no! Okay. Now my guy definitely has something to moan about. He just fell quite a way and we broke our leg. We're gonna have to make a splint, and the thing is now we're gonna keep passing out because of the pain. This is why when we went to the hospital we were looking for morphine injectors, because that would have helped us with the pain a little bit, which means we're not going to keep passing out all the time. But we didn't find any at the hospital that we were searching, although there is another hospital that we could potentially go to when we get across to central part of Namalsk. All we've got to do is make it to that little bush in the corner there. If we can break this bush here down into sticks, then we can make a splint. You know, it's just sod's law now that this is the moment that a hostile player will turn up and we're at a real disadvantage here. Baby steps, come on. Come to Papa. Come on, you can do it. We're going to have to use some of our bandages to craft a splint. I thought we had some rags on us, but I think at some point we either used them or dropped them to be able to, I guess, clear up some space. But yeah, now we've got a splint. We can now apply this splint to our leg, and it just means we can move without the risk of passing out due to the pain. It's just going to help secure that limb. Hold the bone into place so it can fix, and yeah, eventually we will be able to heal. Not limp as much. So yeah, not ideal, but better than it was. Just have a quick nose in here for anything useful. I can't see anything other than a metal radiator and a hat. There's a glow plug or something over here, which we don't need. This is all vehicle stuff, pretty much. Apart from the metal plate, obviously. I'll spend some time getting some of this food in us. You're infected out here. Where is he? There. You know what? Gonna leave him to do his thing. The one thing we don't want So if someone comes through here, it's for them to see dead infected. Because straight away you get a feeling that someone else is here. Well, clearly there is. It's me. I don't want to give anyone a heads up to me being here. Try and stay as low profile as we can. This guy's going to keep complaining about his broken leg. Rightly so, it's cold. And in pain, you know. When you're cold and in pain, you're going to moan. Some more duct tape. Let's remember that we need to keep our immunity up. Let's take some multivitamins. Okay. Check the security office on the corner here. Worn Pioneer stab vest. If we take the stab vest, it's gonna take the spot up where the assault vest is. And the thing is, stab vest will reduce damage from some weapons, such as melee weapons and some small arms. But we lose all that inventory space. Just dropping this Pioneer here in the grass, just in case someone else comes past and hopefully they'd miss that. We want to try and reduce the ability for other people to find weaponry around here, in case they haven't found a half-decent weapon yet. It gives them an advantage against us. I know we've got rounds to that Pioneer. We've got the ACOG scope as well, but we haven't got a magazine for it. And it's only 5.56, which is really kind of an underpowered round on its own to a certain extent compared to the rifles we've got. But is good obviously with a full auto weapon because of how fast it would fire a number of those projectiles out. So yeah, we're not going to take the Pioneer because it's a bolt action rifle. It only fires one round at a time. Okay, stay still, bro. Come on. You know what? We could potentially stealth kill this guy if we had a blade, but... Really? Really? I'm off it. Oh, okay, that's what I didn't want to happen. She was miles away from me as well. All I wanted to do is actually just get down into these trees here, where we're a little bit more camouflaged. We're going to sit here, we're going to eat some meat until we're full, and rest up our leg until it's healed, and then we're going to crack on and move down to the airfield. Okay. Right, so our broken leg has finally fixed itself. We're a bit cold now though. Oh, there's quite a few infected in the field here. Let's try and give them a wide berth. The fact that we've got cold now means that, yeah, we need to try and find some shelter. It looks like there might be a blizzard coming in. We don't want to get caught out in a blizzard. We need to try and get down to the airfield. It's going to be hard to see where it is with this fog. This fog will obscure us slightly to any hostile players in the area. It'll also make them harder to spot. So Really got to be careful here. We should probably double time it, actually. I've kind of got a gut feeling that we're heading kind of in the right direction. Okay, without a scope, it's hard to spot yet. There is a outline of something up there, but that looks like it's infected. Just need to do a quick inventory check. I can't remember if we actually come across a compass. No, we haven't come across a compass yet. So really, we know the area we want to be heading to, but without a compass, we don't always know we're heading in the right direction. Now, I know Namalsk Island a bit. I know it enough to know where some of the key locations are, some of the landmarks that we need to look out for to know we're heading in the right direction. We're kind of going back the other way really to where we wanted to go, but we kind of overshot after coming across from the dam. Because of the way we came, we took kind of like a long way round. Maybe we should just wait up for this fog to lift so we're able to see a little bit further away to get an idea of where we need to be going. I was saying that I can see some power lines down here. I can't really see anything. This looks like there's... yeah, this looks like water down here. I don't really want to stray too far from this area because I had a feeling that we were kind of in the right area to be able to get back to where the airfield is, but I think at the moment, because we're kind of moving around in the fog, we're just making things worse. So rather than just continuing to wander off, we're going to wait until the fog lifts a little bit and we're able to get a better idea of where we actually are. But let's just try and get up off this slope. Yeah, so I can just in the distance over there see the compound that we were in and just see that tower just up in the distance. I'm sure the airfield is kind of around that kind of direction. Maybe it is over here somewhere. I've got a feeling that it's really close to that. You know, we could see it from across the lake when we were coming round yesterday around that lake. So we know the airfield isn't far from it, you know. But until we can get a glimpse of maybe one of the buildings for the airfield, it's probably not going to be worth walking too far. I'm just conscious that we're outside, we're already cold. You know what? Yeah, we're bouncing into the blue in terms of our temperature at the moment. That's not necessarily good. May seem counterproductive at this point to a certain extent, but I think we're going to have to get back up to this compound and seek some shelter there again. I know, frustrating, but sometimes it's these decisions that you make can be the difference between life and death in a survival situation like this. We're going to suffer from exposure out here, although I am seeing a little bit of clear sky up here. It could be an indication that we are going to be getting some clearer weather soon. But yeah, until this weather clears, let's just get inside, out of this light storm that we're getting here, and we can continue to the airfield once this passes. Well, that wasn't a bad shout, because not only are we warm now, we also found that sharpening stone that we wouldn't shut up about yesterday. Because our axe is almost ruined, and that is such an important tool for us right now. But not only killing infected with, but also for cutting wood for fires. So, yeah. What we're going to do as well is we are going to sharpen our combat knife while we're at it. It's good to have a couple of blades. That hunting knife we found was badly damaged. I'm just going to repair that up to damaged at least, and then I'm going to save the last little bit of that sharpening stone for us to potentially use if we need it in the future to just sharpen our axe. But that should last us a while now. We've got a little bit of water in this pot. Let's just take that on board. It was boiled. Some meaty goodness in it from our burnt meat that we boiled in it. Okay, so we've got a cooking pot and a plastic bottle now, which means we're able to not only cook, but also to be able to collect and boil water, which means we don't necessarily need to find chlorine tablets. This means we can boil water from ponds now, which means if we're stuck out in the wilderness, as long as we find a fire barrel or maybe a tripod to be able to hang it from, we can boil that out in the wilderness to a certain extent. So yeah, all in all, feeling a little trapped right now, but also feeling pretty blessed. It's still looking pretty foggy out here, but I've got a feeling that we're losing sunlight. It just feels like that. I think it's going to be night time soon. I don't really want to hang around here for too much longer, if I'm honest. I've got a feeling if we come out of the compound on this side, the airfield should be up here somewhere. Trying to think of when we went down through that section there to hunt the deer. I just had a feeling where that lake was and that bit of land that goes across where we're going to be going later. Yeah, it's not far from the airfield. Yeah, look how dark it's getting. Okay, so searching the airfield at night is not necessarily going to be the greatest idea. Ah, there's an infected there. Let's try and get some space quick. However, it may give us a little bit of cover from people from being able to see us. Oh no! Mate. Didn't realise I was infected there. Two, by the looks of it. He's still looking this way. I don't want it to make too much noise. Hopefully he's going to be interested and come this way. What's he doing? Okay. Not really what I wanted to do, because now there's two bodies in the road here. It kind of gives people an indicator as to someone being in the area. Badly damaged ACOG scope. I mean, to be honest with you, we've already got an ACOG scope here, which is worn. I don't think we really need to take two, but let's not be greedy now. Now the fog's clearing, but it's getting dark. But all we need is just a quick glimpse of some sort of building, and that's all we need. think this is it down here. I think this is it. We were really close when we were coming across the other way. Yeah, that looks like tarmac. And that's a bit. Can't see any buildings yet. Still a bit misty. You get through this fence. But I think this definitely looks like the edge of the runway. Through the fence. Yeah, I know, my guy's moaning it's cold. Yeah, here we go, it's the runway. Okay. Stayed for too long, but I've just spotted a first aid kit here. It's empty. Someone's dropped that. The fact that it's damp. You know, I'll take it. There we go, now I can see a building. Oh, and infected. There was only one there, one straggler. A few buildings here worth looking through, maybe. Again, it's all about risk and reward. It's an industrial area over here which you also want to look through. Once we've finished with the industrial area, we'll go across that land bridge that we mentioned earlier. We've got to try and be extra sneaky here. Little gap in the fence here. I mean, definitely quite a lot infected here, but they all seem to be just going about their business, so to speak. They don't look like they've been aggroed, which is basically what we're looking for. Oh, hello. Stop moving. If you have a shovel, you can bury the bodies of infected. So it's a good way to hide, you know, infected that you've killed. Another CR75 magazine. We're going to take the chem light for now. Not that we're going to use it as such, but potentially it could become a little distraction. Could potentially put it down somewhere to give off a little bit of light to trick another player into thinking that there is someone in a room when we're not. Now those rounds there are 2.22 rounds, really quite weak if I'm honest. We don't really need those. Okay for hunting and maybe killing infected with. Another bottle of water, but in terms of what we're going to be using, yeah, it's not really got the punch behind it. You're coming my way, so don't like really opening boots, but pristine knife, alcohol tincture. Alcohol tincture's worth taking. Knife, we've already got 2 blades. Let's not be greedy. Or duct tape. We're going to say no to more duct tape. We will be using that to repair stuff at some point. Meat cleaver and a pair of shoes. Pristine as well. Okay, my guy really needs to get inside. He's getting cold. Okay, yeah, I am not wasting a deagle round on that guy. Oh, okay, it's locked. It's locked, it's locked. Someone has locked this. No, let's not funny around too much. Come on, Dom. Come on, Dom. You know what? I know what I want to do. The fact that it's locked means someone could have been in here really recently and just locked it to secure it, like we did the room we were in. None of these zombies seem triggered. It doesn't mean there's not someone hiding in here. A bit quicker here. Okay, that door leads outside. Some people are extremely patient. Okay, bro. There's a saw there, we could use that. This door here leads into a room where there's nothing, basically. Someone's locked themselves in. Okay, someone has secured this room at some point and they've probably logged out of the game in there. Box of shotgun shells. You know, eventually find a better shotgun that might come in handy. Oh yeah, another Deagle mag. Back up for our Deagle. Damage saw. It's not going to fit in there, of course it's not. We can start doing those, start putting a few things in here. Because we can still fill it with water as well. Yeah, this is where we're gonna have to start. Like, you know, I don't really need the tactical vest. It was gonna be a backup maybe if we got to a point where we could store some stuff up, but yeah. Oh, how did that miss? Seriously. Whatever. Down my throat. Torch. Cleaver there. Didn't really find the stuff that I was hoping we'd find here. Although, to be honest with you, these buildings here aren't really... Yeah, these aren't really military buildings as such. It's just civilian loot. But there is, I think, a couple more buildings down here that we want to try and check. Definitely something on the floor over near this car. Bomber jacket. Anything else here other than that? Looks like a suit jacket or something there, and a head torch, which we've already got. Sledgehammer there on the floor. And a prisoner jacket or something like that. Okay, this building here. We could potentially see out the night in this building here. VC pants. Burlap sack and yeah, some tarp basically. What's this here? Is that a battery? It is. Okay, we want the battery. So, lock and more tarp. You know, the tarps would come in handy for putting up like an improvised shelter out in the wild, but we're not going to worry about anything like that for now because we're still moving through. I haven't got room to be carrying it anyway. What we are going to do though is get some stuff together for a fire. It doesn't even have to be anything that hefty. Yeah, we can make a fire just out of sticks. We only really need a fire to just take the chill off because we're going inside a building that is already going to be a lot warmer than being out here in the cold. So it's basically going to be a fire made out of sticks. So we're not faffing around out here. Gotta go and just clear this building real quick. Okay. Seems to be relatively clear. If there was someone in here, they would have already tried shooting at us as we came through that door. We've got a bed in here as well. It just gives us a little bit more comfort so we can spend the night here. What we're going to do then is we are going to just secure this door with our lockpick. You know, if someone else has got a lockpick, then they could unlock it, but you know, it's not usually things that people would take with them right at the start. I mean, we did, so they could have done, but you know, either way, someone tries to unlock that, we're going to hear them. So, you know, we've already got a heads up. We would probably hear them running around outside before they even got to the door anyway. It just buys us a little bit of extra time, if you know what I'm saying. We've got a window upstairs that we can use to be able to check the area. So, yeah. We've still got some food left. This is going to become nice and toasty real soon and warm us up. Okay, so we're just going to lay here. The heat rising from the fire will warm us up, keep us cozy. We're just going to spend the night here. And then in the morning, we're going to crack on, go across that land bridge that we spied earlier and across to more central part of Namalsk. So just keep an eye out for day 3. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.